This is it, the last segment in the series about fine artistry versus artistic expression. You made it. Congratulations.
For my child star and genuine wear. Hear him sing, watch him dance, he'll put you under his spell. Behind the scenes, Uncle John or buddy time with his kids. Everybody around the world, tell what time it is. It's time, it's smoking time. It's Rick. Hey, jump back, kiss myself. It's time, it's smoking time. With Rick. With Rick. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it?
Hi everybody, I am Rick Siegel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Glad to see you here, and guess what? You are now a stupid baby. If you don't know what that means, you need to go over to our Stupid Reactions, which is the channel that my good friend and colleague and tomfoolery Corbin Miles do together. And for those of you who are here and have been here for a while, hello again, I love you. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Be a part of this family forever. Click like, comment. I actually reply to comments here. It's quite fun. Today we are finishing fine artistry versus artistic expression. As stated before, fine artistry is defined this way: something uniquely put together, marked by distinction and perfection, whose end is suited for the virtues of humanity. And we used as an object lesson, my stool. And as you can see, I have put up upon the handy-dandy whiteboard, I wrote the stool with the breakdown of the different things we've gone over in the past videos. And as you can see, I am not a visual artist. And we put here the legs of the stool, the framework, and the pedestal or the seat. And they were described and defined as the leg of creation, something uniquely put together, marked by distinction and perfection, suited for the virtue of humanity. The framework was giftedness. The pedestal, which is the artist themselves. Now we have the last two elements in this description and object lesson. The foundation and what it is that's supposed to be on the pedestal. I think it's self-explanatory, and you're probably tracking with me in this regard, that what goes on the seat right there is the butt. The art form itself, whether it's the song that the singer is singing, or the role that the actor is portraying, or the film that the filmmaker is making, or the dance that the dancer is dancing. It's the actual work of art itself that is supposed to be elevated and placed upon the pedestal. For me, the most important thing about the stool, both in the object lesson and in real life, is the foundation. Because let's be honest, what good is a stool if it's not being used properly, and it's first and foremost not being placed upon a proper foundation? A stool is only as good as the foundation upon which it is placed. And the same is true for fine artistry. And it's the primary thing for me that differentiates above all fine artistry versus artistic expression. And this is where some of the appreciation for fine artistry can become subjective. I don't want to discount that. Please know, I am in no way, shape, or form saying that this is the end-all, be-all, and my definition is the only definition, and anybody who disagrees is wrong. I am not saying that. I think it's evidenced by the comments in all of the videos that I am open to being corrected. I want to learn. I don't think I'm the grand poobah who understands all mysteries. This is me simply telling you what I've done over my years of experience and study. And for the most part, I think you all agree that this is a really good working definition that can help you understand the difference and appreciate and share with the world fine artistry versus just artistic expression. This goes to the root of our stupid reactions. The reason that Corbin and I have loved and continue to love the artistry that comes out of India is because it meets this criteria. So what is the foundation? Why? And I'll put up here, remember, on top of the pedestal, the artist being upheld and coming from the artist is the art itself. Not art like the painting. I'm talking about all art. All forms of art are coming from an artist. And this artist, this fine artist, is creating something that is marked by distinction and perfection, that has a long-lasting virtue to it, that's for all the world to see and appreciate and be changed by or be inspired by or entertained by, and that there's a giftedness all about this artist who is creating this work of art. But all of that, for me, the most important part of all of this is why. It's really, for me, the most important thing, and it will allow me to be more forgiving of certain areas that may be lacking in the fine artistry. So, for example, let's say the artist doesn't have a high level of giftedness per se, but all of the other things are intact and their why is really high. And I'll give you an example. You'll hear Corbin and I talk about things, and I think one of the most flattering things we could say about a film, and one of the most critical things we could say about a film that we believe in, is a film we call important. We said that about Joker. Everyone was talking about the fine artistry of Joaquin Phoenix in the role of Joker. And let's just talk about that fact, shall we? Let's just use him as an example. So we have the artist himself, Joaquin Phoenix, who creates something, right? An intentional creation. Distinction and perfection. Distinction. He didn't copy any other Joker. He didn't copy Heath Ledger. He created his Joker. Virtue. Does that character, does that role have something in it that's lasting and permanent and pretty much there's a connectivity there with the perfection side of it. There's almost a flawlessness to it for all of us to see, and the art itself was the role, right? But the why behind that, why was he creating that character? It's essential for an actor. It's inseparable from the script in this film. And what this film was talking about and what the Joker character is talking about was very important, because what it was doing was holding up a mirror to American society and showing us this anti-hero. And the same thing, I felt that way about the movie Us by Jordan Peele. I felt that was an important film. Schindler's List is at the top of my list of films. And one of the primary reasons for that is the why Spielberg made it. His reason for making that was to tell a story that was a true story about this man, Oskar Schindler, and what he did during the Holocaust, and to ensure that this story and the Holocaust itself was, first of all, represented accurately on film and was never forgotten. That's a really, really big why. One of the reasons, critically to me, why certain art forms to me don't qualify as fine artistry is because they don't just miss on some of these levels, but above all, they miss on this level. And you can go through all of the examples that you want to that would explain how you can recognize the difference as to why this is being done. And I don't want to belabor them. I think that's a better thing for us to do in conversation here in the comments, because what I've done for you is give you my approach to how I appreciate art of all kinds and how I differentiate between something that was simply an artistic expression, which has a merit in and of itself, versus something that equals fine artistry. There is this framework I have that's just inherent in me. I don't even have to think about it, that I've had for years, where this criteria comes into play. And the one that's most important for me is the why. That's why I can appreciate, for example, somebody, I mentioned him before, like a Sacha Baron Cohen. I don't particularly appreciate his art form for myself when he does what he does. It's not my cup of tea. However, I do appreciate all of these other aspects of him as an artist, and above all, his why. I know why he does what he does. And a lot of the things that he does with his comedy is to expose hypocrisy and expose lies and bring to light truth. How he does it, the way he gets there, his creation aspect, I have disagreements about whether or not that's the best way to do that. But who am I to hey, if that's what he's going to do, I'm not going to deny the fact that within the totality of this man's art, the most important thing for me of all art forms is, why are you creating that? And there's a lot of reasons I would agree. It may be something as important as, say, Schindler's List, but it could be something simply, I'm going to make art for the sake of art. I'm just going to make art because I want to make art. That's okay. And there's a lot of reasons why I won't like a film. But that one's the big one for me. And I look forward to all of your conversations below here. I have loved doing this with you. I've loved the feedback. Many of you have pointed out that you recognize that these videos, and I recognize it too, they don't get a lot of views compared to other videos. And that's okay, because someone sent me a message the other day that said, thank you for doing these, and specifically said, thank you for adding value to our lives. And just like over on OSR, guys, as much as I love entertainment, as much as I love acting, the whole reason I love acting isn't because I want to entertain. It's because in my heart, I'm a teacher at heart. And I want to see artistry. The big whys for me about artistry is because I believe that art has a way of taking that which is inexpressible otherwise and making it expressible. I think artistry has a way of reaching into the human being and touching them in ways that no other medium can. And in that touching conveys something of the human experience that all of us need to be in connection with one another about. Whether it's the reality of suffering that's happened in the human experience, whether it's the optimism that we all should share in the face of disasters, whether it's just simply enjoying the fact that we are a unique creation and the fact that we can laugh. I love art, and this hopefully was adding value to all of your lives the way that beautiful stupid baby said. And you can rest assured, I am always going to err on the side of wanting to add value to your life rather than adding subscribers to my channel or adding viewers to my videos. Of course, I want 10 million people watching this, and I want 10 million views per video. You know why? Because I want people to think about artistry this way. I'll get really emotional talking about it, guys. I want people to see the difference between an actor like a Nawazuddin Siddiqui, and I won't even list other actors that are inferior but are more well known. I want people in America to know about beautiful motion pictures that are coming out of India that they wouldn't otherwise know, while they're spending their money on watching crap that is the why of it. It's lowering the value of human life. It's lowering the value of the human experience. It's lowering the value of our stewardship of our resources on the planet. And I could go on and on and on. So thank you for spending time with me. I love spending time with you. And I look forward to more series like this. This was obviously the one on fine artistry versus artistic expression. I have gazillions coming up that I'm going to do for you. And I also have a segment I've yet to create called This Bird's Eye View, where I'm going to give you movie reviews of all of my favorite films of all time, all of my favorite genres, some of my favorite songs. Somebody even suggested that I go through some of my favorite poems and maybe read them. The first one I'm going to do is Victor Hugo's Et Nox Facta Est. Oh baby, I hopefully will do that one soon, because that one's amazing. Anyway, I love you guys. Stay stupid. Subscribe if you haven't. And at the end of this silly little song, please hit Patreon if you're in a position where you can support me in what I do. Love you. See you next time. Bye.
If you like this video and want some more, subscribe right now and you'll adore the time you spend with me and your extended family. And if generosity turns you on, just click that link to Patreon. carry on and give until your money's gone and no one else will be.
Rick Siegel, an institution of silliness for everyone but Corbin's mom.